Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. Right off the bat on the old show today, this vehicle made its official debut at the Geneva Motor Show. It's the brand new concept, the Alfieri concept from Maserati. Now if you look at this pretty closely, and it's a very beautiful automobile, this chances are is what a lot, or at least a lot of parts and pieces, will be the next Gran Turismo. Know little to nothing about this particular automobile other than obviously its concept vehicle, and they're talking that this vehicle has a normally aspirated V8 making 460 brake horsepower. And again, if you look really close at some little parts and pieces of this particular machine, you may pick out a little bit of the design language with the next Gran Turismo, whatever they end up calling that vehicle, is going to look like. Pretty good looking machine from the folks over at Maserati. Next up on the list, the brand new Audi TT took off the wraps. The much rendered and much shown off all over the interwebs over the past several weeks. The new TT is somewhat of an evolutionary process rather than a revolutionary. Looks a lot like the outgoing TT. Now this particular vehicle comes with an array of 3 different power plants that you can have in this particular vehicle, including a 2-liter turbocharged diesel engine making 184 brake horsepower and 280 pounds-feet of torque. 0 to 60 numbers come in at right around 7 seconds for that particular machine. Now you can upgrade that, or kind of upgrade that, at least as far as less fuel economy, more performance, as far as a 2-liter petrol turbocharged 4-cylinder, putting out 230 brake horsepower and 273 pounds-feet of torque. Now, with a 6-speed manual, this car will make a 0 to 60 jaunt in right around 6 seconds. But if you upgrade to the Sportronic transmission, automatic that is, that number drops down to 5.3 seconds in its jaunt to 60. Now again, if you go all the way up to the TTS, the hot rod version, that comes with the same 2-liter turbocharged engine, but it's squeezed a little bit tighter, making 310 brake horsepower and 280 pounds-feet of torque. The 0 to 60 numbers drop significantly to around 4.7 seconds for this particular machine. I think the TT's always been quite an attractive automobile. I'm sure they're going to sell these by the boatload. The new Audi TT will be arriving in dealer showrooms very soon. Next up on the list, showing off a little bit more Audi TT goodness, this is the brand new Quattro Sport concept. This has got a little bit of that Audi Quattro concept going on in it. This thing has a significant amount of lightweight materials. Hearing about all aluminum suspension pieces, a lot of carbon fiber, and this thing is pretty doggone quick. Especially when it comes to the power plant of this particular machine, which is the same 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder they really squeeze tight to make 420 brake horsepower and 331 pounds-feet of torque. Now that is also run through a dual clutch Sportronic transmission with all-wheel drive, and as you can see, a lot of downforce options when it comes to this particular machine. Big rear diffuser, big rear wing. But now let's talk about all that power and all that lightweight. What does that get you 0 to 60? Comes in at 3.7 seconds, which is down there around the R8 from Audi's range of motion. So this is a pretty doggone slick piece of kit. Really hope that Audi actually builds this, but chances are it may never ever see the light of day. But we can always hope, can't we? Next up on the list, well, the folks over at Gumpert are back up and going. The supercar company that was kind of at the brink of disaster and then all of a sudden came back with a new buyer and a new influx of cash. And now they've shown off this at the Geneva Motor Show, which is their brand new concept vehicle, which maybe isn't that much of a concept. Now, this particular model is going to have a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder making 420 brake horsepower and 383 pounds-feet of torque. Now, you can shift that up to the S model of this particular machine, making 503 brake horsepower and 461 pounds-feet of torque. And that's all done through a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder unit. Now that comes to the real deal. This is the Gumpert, and the model is called the Explosion. I don't know why they call it the Explosion. Seems like a terrible name for an automobile. But I think the funniest thing about this all is we've never heard anything about this. No teasers, no nothing. Bam, here it is at Geneva. And guess what? It's not just a concept. They're taking orders from this right off of the stand. If you want to order this particular model, the brand new Gumpert Explosion, it's not a very good name, especially if this thing has a problem catching fire or something. I'd hate to call it that. This vehicle is on sale for 105,000 euros or 144,000 US dollars. So you can run right on up to the Gumpert display right now at the Geneva Motor Show and put your order in. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, we've been putting up video by video. The video is put out by the Corvette Museum, as every one of these Corvettes are soon and completely coming out of that sinkhole. And this group is working tirelessly and bringing out these vehicles extremely quickly. 2 or 3 a day has been coming out of the hole, so pretty interesting to get to see every one of those videos for all those Corvettes. It's a little bit on the sad side when you see some of them. And also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.